So I asked him, how did you do that? And he said, it's a secret.
Yeah.
But today,
Pay money.
yeah. But today he's going to spill the beans and share with us what to look out for when you run an AdWords campaign, so that you will not burn a hole in your pocket, but achieve the result you want. So let's welcome Edwin.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. We have this website, T Plaza, how many years already? Five, 6 years already. Then having a website is not enough for business. Then we find, although how good your website is, then the most important thing is you need to let people know your website and transaction or buy things from your website. So that's why I started to engage in Google AdWords. And I also spend a lot of money, waste a lot of money. That is good to get it done. And now I know, okay, maybe ways to save money and even create profits through the Google campaign. So today's topic, we're going to talk about the Google AdWords, how to use Google AdWords and set up strategy to ignite with your company online status. Now, why are we talking about Google AdWords particularly? Okay, because Google is the world's #1 and actually covers 80% of the search queries. So 80% of the people every day will search on Google means that if you running well on this, you're covering 80% of the search engine. And also, Google has a lot of display network partners. This display network partner can be any kind of site. For instance, travel site or even some information site and news site. So when people they search on the web, they will leave some trace with Google. Then Google knows your profile. So this kind of network is called display network. I will explain later. So the 90% of internet users worldwide now, or 2 million sites on this display network is Google's partner. And then Google also owns YouTube. And YouTube's now in 70 countries, 60 languages, 1 billion users. Then how many people, how many hours or minutes you spend on your mobile device or on YouTube? The statistic shows a number that I really don't want to believe, that it says around 30 minutes per day people spending on YouTube in average.
More than
So I don't believe that because I personally I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. But people watch YouTube video become a habit. And so this is a new channel. This is a new channel. But also another new trend is what? It's the mobile. Okay, so when we have a session, we say we have a little break. I see everyone is using your mobile.
Yeah.
Started checking down things. Okay. So this is why Google, because it's the world's largest search engine, and it is also covers most of the consumers market. Then why AdWords? Because AdWords, here we have Region China, they are media. I also do advertisement with Region China. But it's a different segment or different people that are targeting online or newspaper. Why I'm targeting to newspaper? Because some of the book buyers, especially the traditional book buyers, they don't really go online. Okay, so it's a different market segment. So you have to consider what kind of channel most suitable for your business. But AdWords, in a way, they can do very specific topic. It can be using keywords, or it can target you by your gender, your age, your habit, the website you most likely to go to, or the topic you are more interested in. So YouTube, they can, sorry, not YouTube, AdWords, it can drive traffic in a day. I can set up the campaign very quickly, probably in a day. Then the second day you start to find the traffic flow. So this is very effective. The other ways, the other means to address the traffic may be not so efficient as Adwords. And also, like for instance, at the last, we want to have a measurement about your spending. So Adwords is able to be tracked and it can be calculated with your return of investment. So how do we identify the online status? So how are people finding you online? So this is the question I just asked you in your self-introduction. So some of you already have a very good website. We have a shop.com.au here. We have Fish and Soy. They're both shopping website. So shopping website is a very at the top of the website standard because it has to be very good in speed and very user friendly, so people can purchase things without difficulty. And we also have the other business which rely on platform like Charles here. Charles using realestate.com, domain.com to run advertisement. But for Charles, his focus is on the sales. Probably the online part is one of the channel, but maybe there's a more strategic thinking can help you to collect leads, collect customer leads. Okay. Right. So do you have a good looking website? So it's talking about the quality of speed, meaning your server, is it fast enough? And do you have a good SEO in view of the robots? Robots will crawl your website every day. And also in front of customer. Customer, they go to your website, are you delivering the information, not confusing them when they or do you have any call for action to let them do what you want them to do? So the other channel like Facebook, WeChat, Nice, these are social networking channels that you can also have your web presence. And this channel can be integrated in the whole traffic, and it can be analyzed by analytical tool. Then are you mobile friendly? Because right now 9 out of 10 people when they engage in buying something, they start with mobile device. Probably they end up buying things 50% at the PC, still 50% through a mobile device. What is a mobile device? It can be your phone, can be tablet. So everyone thinking about online marketing, you have to take care about your mobile presence. Is your website responsive? Do you have a dedicated mobile landing page? Then we come to set up your online strategy. It's all about your visibility. Traffic can come from different types. I think if you take care of your traffic, you know it can come from organic search, and it also can come from referral such as Facebook or other social media, Twitter, Flickr, Instagram. This kind of channel can help to build up the traffic as well, blog as well. And also you can consider if you are not having the site by yourself, like Charles, he can use platform. But platform normally it won't be very customized for your demand. So you probably can think about having your own website with a landing page for each particular campaign or project. So I believe some of the builders, if they're selling new project, they have their website very well built. Yeah. Then do you need a shopping cart system? It's suitable for consumer market mall, like the two websites here. So we can define the goal. When we think about online strategy, you need to think about what's your goal. Normally, from our perspective, I would say, okay, it's either the brand awareness or the sales, the transaction, or the both. So when you have defined your goal, then from the goal you can start to design what kind of campaign you will need. So as I said, Adwords is a way to build or lead effective traffic in a short time to your web page. Then it comes to what kind of campaign actually suit for you. We have to talk about the search network and the display network a bit. So basically, what are the major difference? What are the aspects important from the advertiser point of view? For such network, people go there when they really know what they want. So they will search. I want the Vietnam vinegar, say, right? So I use this keyword to search. Then I will get some result. But some of the keyword can be very expensive. For instance, cheap flight. I want a cheap flight to somewhere. Then all these company are very big company. All the airlines, imagine how much budget they have. So everybody is competing on the keywords. So the keyword alone can over $10 per click. Right? So not every business you have to think about the cost or the profit you will get after the click. So if you're selling cheap product under $50, $80, probably this kind of campaign is not suitable for you, because if you want to get a success hit, you will spend a lot of money. Okay, and then the page 2, say, what is page 2? When you search on Google, there's a result shows up. On the top is advertisement. Then at below probably the generic result. But normally people don't go to page 2. It's already down to probably 20%. They will go to page 2 to see the result, because the most relative result already on page 1. So unless they cannot find the result they want, then they will go to page 2. That means that this keyword is not good enough for even for the user's point of view. So this is not good search. Okay. So on the display network, it's quite a different approach on this, because people will see your ads based on the topic of the website. You can have this organized. Say if you want to promote, say Jim's product is more on the vehicle, right? So if Jim want to make an advertisement, he will select the website that talk about vehicles. And then he can also think about what kind of people will buy his product. Probably someone who like to do travel, right? So travel website. Okay. Then what kind of people like to? It's possible to buy your product. Maybe men over 40, 50 years old have the money, want to spend for the family to buy a van. So he can also target by the demographic. So there are ways to target to people in this display network, and you don't need really to have the search. Just like if you watch TV, then TV shows up the advertisement. You don't search for TV, right? So display network is like this. Display network media can be multimedia, can be rich media, or they can be videos, and they can show up in an app as well. So display network has one advantage that search network will never have. It is always on page 1. Because it show up automatically to you, so you're always page 1. You don't need to search. And if you know how to do the campaign, it can be on the top of the page. So it's very impressive in a way. So we talk about the display network and the search network. Then in these two networks, what kind of campaign we can have? Search network, as said, is a cost per click (CPC) campaign. You got a text, result. Display network campaign is another type, and then shopping campaign. I noticed your company also do a bit
Google
shopping campaign. Yeah, to do shopping campaign, you need to do a product feed, daily product feed, and update to this website. Then it's video campaign, which is more on YouTube or Facebook. You can also do the shopping. The video campaign. So on video, the campaign can be stream, in-stream campaign, which means if you go to a YouTube website, and then there's a main video there, and whenever pop up in front of the ads is called the in-stream. And on the right-hand side of the YouTube page, there's a thumbnails of the small videos. That is called the discovery campaign. And sometimes there's a small horizontal and a long advertisement there. It's called the bumper campaign. Okay, so these are the different video campaign you can have. Type of ads is said, okay, mainly on the search networks is more text. On display networks it can be text as well, but this text will be longer. Because if you ever done the Adwords, you know there's a limitation of words you can put in the advertisement. Most of the time you find it not enough, because you want to convey your message very good to the consumer, but you also don't want to miss anything. But on display network, there's a new type of campaign called expand text. You can have up to, I think it's 30 plus 90 plus 90, so it's 210 words in the display, in the expanded text campaign. Actually more information. And the image campaign, sometimes referring as the banner campaign. It can be banner ads or responsive ads. Let me show you responsive ads first. But actually, this you can see it can be in image type. So this format fit into different devices. So Google will detect your devices and decide which format to fit. And if your device does not support image, then it becomes text. So this is so-called responsive ads. Look at that. Yeah, okay. Another type is called dynamic ads. Dynamic ads is suitable for shopping website. Like your website or your website, you can have a dynamic ads. That is, people search something and they leave a trace with Google. Then we can fit this kind of ads with product images. So sometimes you will find that this kind of ads. We will have some ads showcase later. So this we have already talked about. So YouTube we have entry, discovery, and bumper. This is the dynamic ads. This is an example of responsive ads. This is dynamic ads. That's from Kupiter. We have a lot of product. And this website is Bobby's, and this product shown is based on the user's interest. So it will show the most possible deal to you. This also a dynamic advertisement. This as well, dynamic advertisement. This is banner ads. Banner ads, and lastly, let's see. Ads also shown on mobile device. So these are the different type of ads you can have through Google. Then come to how to save money. So to bid or not to bid, how do you know? You must have a way to judge your return of investment. Okay. So, but sometimes doing advertisement is not about the return. Sometimes it's about the branding image, or sometimes the company budget has to be spent, or sometimes it's just to try to have a balance on each different media channel. Like I run big Google campaign. I also run campaign through region channel. So different kind of reason you will have the campaign Adwords, but ultimately you have to think about the long term or short term return on investment. We'll talk about how to do this. Then you have to choose the right campaign for you. For Jeffrey, probably I don't think the search campaign is a good practice for you. Why? Because you have too many products. Yeah. Imagine how many keywords you have to register to Google.
We have a lot at the moment, but we got two types of campaigns.
Yeah.
One of them is generic, which is more like the Asian grocery, Japanese grocery. But the problem with those keywords is you might be competing with not online stores. But it's like, because some of the non-online stores also have websites, and those clicks are really expensive. Yeah. So that one would have a very limited budget.
How much per click?
That one, the expensive one is in Melbourne, about $3.20.
Yeah.
We actually reduced our budget to about $1. And what we found was it still appear on the first page, but it's on the bottom sometimes. So it depends on where the other company market. Sometimes it's on top, but sometimes it's on the bottom of the first page.
Yeah. So
the other type is the product specific one, where those the clicks are a lot cheaper. But you have to actually research the keyword.
Yeah, very specific keyword.
Yeah, and some of them is like 20 cents and you go for it. But if it's like $2, then you don't go for it. Yeah, but even though that might trying to bring people in.
Okay.
We don't do keyword for all our products.
Yes, not for all our products. Only.
Only for the ones we stocked in.
So you probably can try more on display network.
Yeah, we haven't explored that.
I will recommend. Okay, and so it comes to quality score. I don't know how you do to reduce to $1 from $3. But one way to do is to increase your quality score. That is that your website is highly relative to your keywords. Then Google will say, okay, this is a good material because people search for vinegar, and your advertisement use these keywords, and after they click, they land into a page that talk about vinegar a lot. So this will, even if you do this, you don't even need to spend money. This is called SEO. So when people search this, probably you don't need to spend money. Even you spend money, it's very cheap because you have a highly relative, high quality score keywords there. Right. So you need to do keyword study. Which keyword is the most effective for you? But it takes a lot of time and energy. Every day you sit in front of your Google Adwords report trying to fine tune everyone. Yeah, it's very time consuming job. Then you have to continue fine tune. every day, see which one performing better, and then think about the new idea of the keywords. So you need to set your budget and your goal, and you have to be very patient because this report won't come a day. Normally, you should based on at least 1 week, 2 week, 3 week statistic before you can observe the effectiveness of your campaign. So you need to think about the conversion. Then what is your short-term and the long-term approach? Then if you don't know how to do this, just use an agent. All right. So you want to say that the return of an investment, you have to understand some basic terminologies. Impression, that is the S show to you. So either in such a way, because it's a pay by click, so cost per click, that CPC campaign means if you don't click, you don't pay. So this impression probably important for branding, brand awareness. And clicks actually somebody find what they search or what they see is interesting. They want to get more information, so they will click on it. Then more clicks means more cost. So these two, click over impression, is the click-through rate. Is it higher the better? I once talked to a Google consultant, and he said, "Oh, the click-through rate is higher the better." No, it's not, because click-through, as said, if you are focused on impression, you want the impression only. You don't want to click, because click make you spend money, right? But if you are aiming to search network, your search result shows to people. Normally, as said, just few text, just few words. That won't do any good. So you want the people to click. So click-through rate in such network is the higher the better. Then that's the correct answer. But click-through rate in the display network is not always higher the better. Okay. So you have to set up your goal. What is your goal? What is your goal? Your goal is can be, as said, can be impression, brand, or can be sales. Then this goal actually can be quantized. So you have to use another tool called Google Analytics. And in the analytics, you have to set up your goal and each goal completion value. Say, if I say somebody come to my site and watched for 3 minutes, I think it's a value to me. How much is it? Then you have to set a value there, say $5. Okay, this is worth for me, it's $5. Somebody watched my product for 3 minutes, then later he's very possibly come back for shopping. Then we can set up this goal, even it's not transactional. For shopping websites, it's more straightforward. You can set up your goal as e-commerce goal. So when people purchase, there's a value, there's a revenue, so this can be your goal. So what is conversion? Conversion is that your goal is reached. Your goal reached, then it's called a conversion. So how to make most of your campaign? You have to set up your goal, then you have to track your conversion, then you have to fine tune. Then you repeat the tracking and fine tune always. Then after the end of the campaign, you can calculate your return of investment. So that's only one campaign. Then you don't run the same campaign always. So if I do the airline campaign, I cannot always have a image of a single airplane. I have to also think about what kind of image is more presentable and more interesting to the customer. Even this campaign is running very well, does not mean it will always run well. So you have to keep on refreshing, provide your new offer. What's your offer? Cheap flight, how much, and you have to watch your competitor. If your competitor is offering 200, then you probably want to beat this number. So you have to design new word, and also you can design a new. Now to summary. So are you ready? Are you ready for the campaign? That means how's your online presence? Your website is good, it's good looking, or you have any other supporting channels, social media channels, blogger? Are you very well presented in a mobile device? So this question you have to ask you firstly. Then you have to decide if I want to go for the long-term one. You don't need to spend for SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. That's people search you and then you become on the first page. So this is free. You can say it's free. Normally it takes a lot of investment and time. And SEM, search engine management, in a way like a campaign, Google campaign, or even Bing. You can campaign on Bing. You can campaign on Facebook. Then you have a clear measurable goal. Just like I said, try to quantize the goals so you can calculate the conversion. Save cost or earn money. If you want to save cost, you can hire an agent. Probably it's more efficient than yourself to do the job. Alright, so what quality of an agent you should look for? The agent should understand your business, so he know what best type of campaign, what kind of ads to run for you. So if you're looking for an agent, you also need to see what kind of project he has been doing. Is related to your industry. If he has no experience, then don't hire this agent. Then if this agent is able to suggest you a better landing page or some comment on your website, even do the enhancement design for you. Okay. Then it is finally the analytics capability. If the agent do not have the analytic capability, then you will not get a good report. So so this by the end of my presentation. Through this presentation, I hope that everyone here know what you can ask to an agent, or what you should ask yourself when you do the campaign. So, any question? Okay, that's my presentation. Thank you.